Hey everyone, Dr. Brad here, Tenino Chiropractic, and I wanted to talk a little bit about high-tech chiropractic. And I'm going to show you here real quick what we do in our office so that we know that we're on the cutting edge of taking the best care of you and your family, using technology to be able to see what's really going on and be able to track change and improvement objectively. So right here is our computer system that we use for scanning. We call it scanning. It's part of our initial evaluation and part of subsequent re-examinations. What this thing does, we do a series of 3 scans on most everybody, and each of the scans looks at a different slice of the function of your nervous system. Now, what does that have to do with chiropractic? Well, in chiropractic care, we really want to focus on the health and the balance of the spine so that the spinal cord and all the vital nerve connections between your brain and body that run through the spine are able to do their job without problems, without interference. And so that's really why we focus on the health and the balance of the spine. And that's what we've been doing for the last 120 years as chiropractors, but we haven't had a great way to measure that objectively until recently with the Inside Subluxation Station scanner. So I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'm going to show you a scan image and give you a little taste of what it means and what you might find out, or what a patient finds out when they come in for a scan. So I don't know how well you can see the screen behind me here, but like I said, we do 3 scans. We do a scan what's called a rolling thermal scan with this device here, and we roll that up your spine. There's 2 incredibly accurate thermometers in there that take readings off the surface of your spine. That tells us a lot about what's called the autonomic function, or how your brain is talking to your organs, your blood vessels, and your glands. Then we do a test called the static EMG, where we put this on certain spots along the sides of your spine, and that tells us about how your brain and your muscles are talking, but more importantly, how your postural muscles are talking, and how your brain is seeing your body in space relative to gravity. It tells us so much about where the main source of the problem is. Because, like I find myself saying a lot, pain is not a very good indicator of what's causing the problem. And in fact, I'd say 50% of the time when we do these scans, we find out the main problem is somewhere else in the person's body other than where they're having the pain and symptoms. But what's so cool is that we can see it now, and then we can address it so that they actually get better and have long-lasting change. And then finally, we use this device here. You have your hand in there. It's called a heart rate variability monitor. And what that really looks at is your overall adaptability of your nervous system. So it gives us an incredibly good indicator of where a person is on that spectrum between totally healthy and having a disease with a name, cancer or heart disease, whatever that might be. We know there's a whole range in there. You don't go from totally healthy and then the next day have cancer. There's a range and a progression. And the heart rate variability is actually the best technology out there right now to tell you where on that spectrum you are. And why we do that, and here, other than, that it's cool to know where someone is that we find when someone starts to get their spine in better alignment, and then therefore their nervous system functioning better, so their brain and body can talk without interference, then we see the heart rate variability improve reliably every time. It's pretty cool. So that's the scans, and when a person comes in for their first visit, we take a thorough history, we talk, we find out the details, we do some tests with posture and with movement, and we do these 3 scans to really get a good look. It's kind of like opening a window and being able to see right into their nervous system. Okay, so I wanted to show you, this is a printout of some scans that we did, and it's a before and an after scan. And this is that rolling thermal scan I mentioned that looks at our autonomic function, so our brain talking to our organs, blood vessels, and glands. And in this image, this is the before image. I'm going to hold that up there so you can see it. Don't worry, there's no names or anything on there. And this is the after image, which was, those are almost 2 months apart. So in this one, you see a lot of these little white bars here on either side of the spine. And the white bars indicate normal, and the colors indicate things fell outside the normal. So green is mild, blue moderate, red severe. So obviously you see this person had a lot going on with their nervous system, their spine, and their nervous system function. They had a lot of symptoms related to that. Now we see their nervous system really starting to clear. Some of those symptoms that we saw associated with this pattern still were around, but getting better. But what we could see is that we were really on the right track, because now their nervous system, their brain and body were communicating well, except for, of course, that one that's still hanging out up there. But that tends to be how we improve from the bottom up. So this is the kind of information we can get. And I'll tell you, when we look at this and we see this whole cluster here of reds right in a row, we start to look at where do those nerves go in the body. And we're looking in this area, that's the upper thoracic, so T1, 2, T3, T4, all the way down to T8. So we're looking at cardiovascular function, so heart, blood pressure, lung function, and then down here we're starting to get into the digestive system. So this particular person had a lot of acid reflux, digestive issues, and even maybe some mild COPD, but that wasn't diagnosed. They sometimes would have challenge breathing, especially with activity. All of which started to improve, especially the acid reflux by then. This area down here, we're still in that digestive system. We're also talking about kidney function, adrenal glands, so stress response, that kind of stuff. And then C1, which is still sticking around there, that top vertebrae, that's a lot of things with head, anxiety, anxiousness, migraine headaches. It can even affect your immune system. A lot of stuff is going on up there with the C1. And this is from a couple of years ago, this before and after, but it was such a cool one to see after only 2 months. But this person's recent scans are all cleared. There's no red up there anymore either. So that's what we do as a big part of the foundation of not only your initial evaluation, exam, and so forth, but creating a plan of care that's really based around getting your brain and body functioning well. Because what we know is that when your brain and body can be in proper communication, your body actually does what it's intended to do, which is heal itself, maintain its own health naturally, without having to add things from the outside that aren't normal, healthy things to add. So I wanted to just share that with you guys. If you haven't been into the office, come on in. You can give us a call, 360-264-5999. That's 360-264-5999. And give us a call. We can get you in for this evaluation and just see what's going on with your nervous system. If you've been wondering, if you've had symptoms that seem like they're getting worse, or you can't quite figure out what the problem is, whether it's pain or whether it's other symptoms with your organs or glands or blood vessels, any of that kind of stuff, and you feel like you want to try a different perspective and get a deeper look into how that communication system's going and how the body as a whole is functioning, in your life, and then get some answers of how to really correct that and start feeling and functioning better, I invite you to come on in, give us a call, and we'll get you set up and scheduled for a scan, and then I'll go over it with you, and we'll look at the pictures just like I did on that paper there of yours, and tell you what it means, and give you some recommendations and see if it's something I can help with. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.